thought about such matters. For instance, Marya thought that scrubbing out the chicken coop a second time this week was ridiculous. The council would be here to evaluate her brother, not the chicken coop. They would not look in the chicken coop, and even if for some reason they did look in the chicken coop and find it not to their naturally exalted chicken coop standards, it would hardly affect their evaluation of Luka. They were not going to say, "Gracious, what a powerful sorcerer that boy will be." Too bad about the chicken coop, though. Either he was a sorcerer or he wasn't, right? Nonetheless, there she was, scrubbing out the chicken coop. It was hot, and the coop was even more foul than usual. Marya's apron was filthy. There was something sticky woven into her long brown braids, and feathers had taken up residence in her mouth. Her nostrils tickled. A fly buzzed around her head in a manner that seemed deliberate. But at this moment, Marya wasn't worried about stickiness, nostril tickling, or deliberate flies, because yesterday she had put honey in Luka's undergarments, and today she could expect retribution. Why had she put honey in his underthings? 2 reasons. First, her older brother had spent his entire life being told by everyone that he had a great destiny. Someone had to put honey in his underwear. Second, he had started it. When Marya was 9, Luka had filled her boots with dung. She had responded by making him oatmeal with sour goat milk, causing him to spend the entire night locked in the bathroom. Any normal person would have considered it done then, but Luka had felt he had to get revenge on her, and so she'd had to pay him back, again. And on it had gone. And so, this morning, when he appeared behind her as she was scrubbing some unspecified goo off of the front of the coop, she jumped up and stood an arm's length away from him, just in case. "Aren't you supposed to be studying?" she asked. Luka stared down at her. He'd always been taller than she was, but over the course of the last year he'd stretched upward toward the sky, and now he could look down upon her literally as well as figuratively. They did not look much alike. Luka had straight, nearly black hair that lay neatly on his head, while she fought to keep her indistinctly brown hair settled into braids every day. He had golden brown skin that radiated health and vitality, while Marya's was pale and did not radiate anything. He was tall and sturdy, Marya short and bony. But still, the way he stood over her and spoke down to her, it would be obvious to anyone that he was her big brother. "I told Papa I needed some fresh air for a moment," he said, "to help me take in everything we're studying." She should have known. Their father was a tutor and a great believer in the educational benefits of fresh air. "There's fresh air over there," she said, pointing off in the distance, "on the other side of the river." Ignoring her, he nodded toward the coop. "That doesn't look very clean." "Maybe you should use your magic," she said, crossing her arms. His eyes darkened. "That's not funny." It was funny, at least to Marya. Luka had shown no sign of being able to do magic yet, and while this was to be expected, magic usually didn't manifest in boys born with the gift until they were 14 or 15. She could tell he was anxious about it. "Just try," she said, "before the council comes. Maybe it will work. That way, when they admire how clean the coop is, you can tell them you did it with..." She flung her arms out. "Magic." "I don't have to prove myself to you." "But you have to prove yourself to the council. What if they ask you to do something and you can't?" "That's not how it works," Luka said. "You don't know that." "I do know. The council tests you before your magic comes in so an experienced sorcerer can mentor you through the process. They don't need to see magic. They can just tell."